Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you are watching this, I have most likely already welcomed baby boy into the world, and this is a pre-recorded video. I'm still pregnant at this moment. I'm about 2 days out from giving birth, and I wanted to pre-film a couple of videos just so that I'm not gone for too long, but I don't know how long it'll take for me to edit and upload this video while caring for a newborn. So this is technically my June favorites, but we'll see how far into June or July this actually gets put up. So we'll just call this a current favorites video. All right, so the first products that I have been loving are shampoo and conditioner. It's been a while since a new shampoo and conditioner has been released that I've been really excited about, and I have been loving these. These are the Rhyme and Reason shampoo and conditioner. I have mine in the Nourish and Gloss. There are different variations of this brand depending on what you're looking for out of your shampoo and conditioner, but I really like a nice glossy shiny finish to my hair, and this really does provide that. It has coconut water, wild rosella flower, and hyaluronic acid infused in it, so it's extremely hydrating. Cruelty-free and vegan. The bottle and cap are 100% recycled and sulfate-free. Now my shampoo is a lot heavier than my conditioner because, as you guys know, I only wash my hair a couple of times a week. One of the times I wash my hair, I always used my Kristin clarifying shampoo, which is like a deep clean shampoo. For those of you that don't wash your hair every day, I've talked about that a million times before, I highly recommend it because it really gets rid of all the buildup of dry shampoo and products that you're putting in your hair between washes. So I use that once a week. And the other time I wash my hair, I use this shampoo. So I'm using this conditioner on every wash and this shampoo every other wash. So it's never even, but I had that problem before I alternated shampoos anyway. If you have drier hair, I really recommend these. They're extremely hydrating. If you have really oily prone hair and you get really oily roots, I don't think you would like this as much because it is extremely hydrating. But I find that when paired with that Kristin shampoo, it's like a really good balance because the Kristin shampoo is extremely clarifying. It gets everything out of your hair, and I find that I need to use a pretty hydrating conditioner after I deep clean it with that Kristin shampoo. And this is perfect because the shampoo gets everything out of my hair, all the gunk, all the buildup, and then this restores the moisture, restores the balance of my hair, and I've been loving that combo. Next up, I have a couple of skincare products that I have been loving. One is on the higher end of the spectrum in terms of price point at the drugstore, and one is at the very lower end of the spectrum. So we'll start with the lower end of the spectrum, and it is the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. And I have been using this every single night as kind of the last step before my moisturizer, and I have noticed a big difference in my skin. How plump it feels, how hydrated it feels. I think this is like $6, which is incredible. I was using the La Roche-Posay hyaluronic acid, which is also really good. So is the L'Oreal one, but they're all pretty expensive. And I feel like this does just as good of a job at a much lower price point. I feel like The Ordinary overall is a really great brand. I mostly like the simplicity of their products for something like a hyaluronic acid because I'm wanting something very simple out of it. Now, when it comes to more complex skincare ingredients, I don't like The Ordinary as much because of how simple it is. Unless you really know what you're doing with different acids and different serums, you can get some irritation. I like to spend a little bit more money on more complex skincare like treatments for my face because those brands typically have already infused ingredients in there to help with balancing out whatever the active ingredient is. I don't know if this is making any sense, but if it's a simple, straightforward skincare product, I think The Ordinary is a great way to go, like hyaluronic acid. But if it's a more complex product that you're wanting, I'd recommend going with a brand or product that has already pre-mixed the formula to not irritate your skin. All right, the next product is a new vitamin C product that I have been using. Vitamin C is up there at top 5 ingredients that I need in my skincare for my skin specifically. Through pregnancy and then through when I had cystic acne, I have hyperpigmentation and dark spots, and vitamin C seems to be the product that really helps my skin. That, as well as obviously wearing SPF and then using a retinol when I'm not pregnant. But it's really complex. The more I learn about vitamin C, the more complex I realize that it is, and you can't just pick one off the shelf and expect it to work. You have to kind of do your research, and I did, and I found this amazing serum by SkinCeuticals, and it was, I want to say $180. So I'd done all this research and I'm like, okay, I know this is gonna work really well, but oh my gosh, I'm not spending $180 on a skincare item. So I started looking for the same ingredients at a cheaper price, and I found this product and oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's from a brand called Timeless Skincare, which I had never heard of, and it's got 20% vitamin C in the form of ascorbic acid, ferulic acid, and vitamin E. This is like a total dupe for the SkinCeuticals product that's $150, and I want to say this is like $20. Based off of what I can tell, ingredients wise, it does the same thing. So I have noticed a big difference with this in brightening my skin and brightening those dark spots, and I've only been using this for about a month. This has 20% vitamin C, which for me personally I find is a really good number. They range from, I want to say like 10 to 30%, and obviously the stronger the more effective that it can be, but also if you have sensitive skin, the more prone to irritation that it can be. So I find for my sensitive skin, 20% is about as high as I can go before it's like diminishing returns. If it's 10% or 15%, it's not effective enough on my skin. And then if it's like 21 to 30%, then my skin is irritated by it and I don't use it, so it defeats the purpose. So if you've had irritation with vitamin C in the past, or you've found it to be completely ineffective, I would take a look at the percentage of vitamin C you're getting out of that skincare product to make sure that you find that right number for you. But I can't recommend this enough. Again, I've noticed a huge difference in my skin already and absolutely no irritation. All right, next up is a mascara that I've been loving. Call me crazy, but I have never been super in love with the original Lash Princess Essence formula. I know it's like a holy grail for so many people, but for me personally, it just didn't give me what I wanted out of a mascara until I decided to try the Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara specifically. This formula is a lot thicker than the original Lash Princess. I don't know if you guys can tell from just looking at it. It's just a lot more like Lash Paradise-y than the original formula. I've been loving the volume that this gives my lashes. And speaking of this one, which has been the one that I've been reaching for every day, Essence just launched this new Lash Princess Curl and Volume edition, and I might like this even better. I hesitate to bring it up because I've only used it a couple of times, but since I was talking about this one and I'm currently testing this one and I don't know how long it's going to be before I do another What's New at the Drugstore, I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys about it. This new one is made for specifically curl and volume, which if you've been following me for a while, you know that those are my things when it comes to mascara. I don't really care about anything other than the curl and the volume. So I was really excited to see those words specifically on a mascara tube. This is the one that I'm wearing right now, and it definitely does a really good job of curling your lashes. But at first I was really unimpressed by the volume aspect of it. My lashes were curled, but it was a pretty thin layer of mascara. So I was like, okay, this definitely does do the curling, but it doesn't do the volumizing. And then as I tried to build on top of it, I was like, okay, this isn't working. But once I waited for it to dry, which didn't take long at all, it's kind of a dry formula, and then I went in with a second coat, so amazing. So I'm gonna keep playing around with this. I'll keep you guys posted on whether or not I continue to like it, because again, I've only used it a couple of times. But first impression wise, I am really impressed, and I like it even more than this volumizing one, which is the one that I was planning on talking about in this favorites video, so I had to bring it up. All right, next up is a highlighter that I recently picked up and have been loving. This is the Flower Beauty Day Glow Highlighting Glow. This reminds me a lot of like the e.l.f. Jelly Pop highlighter I just talked about in my What's New at the Drugstore, because it's like a cream product. However, I would say this one is more oily skin friendly than the e.l.f. Jelly Pop one. This one is, I don't know if you guys can see how stunning it is, but the reason I say it's more oily skin friendly is because the Jelly Pop one feels super balmy, which is great if you have drier skin, but if you have oily skin and you still like the idea of more of a cream highlight, this is a little bit less balmy and it sets a little bit more than the e.l.f. one. So it gives a very similar kind of wet skin look, but without the never drying down and super balmy texture that I know would scare a lot of oily skin people out there. I have been absolutely loving this. I feel like it's the perfect thing for summer because when you're outside, I feel like cream products look so much more natural on your skin than a bunch of powder when you're out in that harsh sunlight. And this will give your skin that glowy effect without worrying about it being too slippy slidey all over your skin. All right, and then last but not least is a lipstick I have been absolutely loving. This isn't new or anything, it's just something that was sitting in my bottom of my lipstick drawer, and after my daughter decided to dump out everything out of my lipstick drawer, I was like, well, I guess I'll take this one downstairs and just rotate out the lipstick that I'm using, and I have been loving it. It's the L'Oreal Color Rich Shine lipstick in the shade 900, which is Glossy Fawn. I love the packaging of this. It's plastic, but it looks like plated glass, and then it's just got this really sleek silver tube. And this color is just a really great everyday nude, but it also gives a really glossy finish. I'll layer it over what I have right now so you can see what the finish looks like. It just adds a little bit of a subtle shine, but it also gives it a lot of color. I know it's harder to see because I already had lipstick on, but let me just swatch this right below where I put the highlighter. So that's what the color looks like. Very similar to the color I was already wearing because I obviously have a taste, but it's really pigmented, but also really glossy. So these are the types of products that I just reach for in summertime because they're effortless, they're glossy, they're glowy. I just find them a lot more summery than super matte, powdery products, which I find to be more wintry. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but for me, I have this weird association of glowy summer and matte winter. But that is everything. Those are all the products that I've been loving. Like I said, if you're watching this, I am most likely in a total newborn fog, and I just really appreciate your patience while I get adjusted to motherhood of 2, and I am really excited to be back whenever it feels right. But like I said, I will keep you guys posted, and I love you so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye.